We are looking for cold spots. Like, this is gonna be so easy. Not to mention, one of my pups' names is Emily. So, yeah, all of my dogs are named after poets.
That's crazy.
So I have Byron, Emily, and Dante. So I don't know if you guys are in English or not. Obviously, I'm a writer.
No, yeah.
But yeah, all of them are named after poets.
That's crazy.
So
This is easy then.
it's so easy. Watch, I'm gonna screw up somebody's
No.
name. You watch.
We're gonna both respond if you say
I
Emily.
know, right? So with this, you should be able to see me in there, red, orange, and yellow guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I normally make the joke, this will work here too, I think, that I'm the hottest thing inside the frame. That's why I'm red, orange, and yellow. So granted, your sexuality is probably not as funny, but you get the point. So we are looking for those cold spots. So those are going to be blue and black. There's always going to be blue and black in there because I'm in the frame, which is going to give us a nice warm reference. That's why I usually make that joke right at the beginning. So that way you know you're going to try to keep one of us in view at all times, just because it's going to be difficult to do with such a small group, but you get the point. I'm looking for those blue and black areas to take shape or to start moving on their own. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. That's what we've caught with this guy in the past, and that's what hopefully we'll capture with it again. So, do I capture something with this every night? No. I get about 4 to 6 pieces on this a year, not an episode. Okay? Again, not a TV show host.
Watch us get lucky.
I know. Fingers crossed. That's why we're using it. So Emily, this Emily, I'll have to present every time. This one's going to go over to you. So this is your start and stop. They are going to their cars. All you're going to do is lower that. You got the point. So it seems like you two are pretty respectful people. So it's pretty good. You don't have to explain certain things over and over again. There's a 5.4. I'll take that. All right, let's make a couple laps. Crank that thing up and just start having Tourette syndrome. Just let us know whatever you got. 6.9. 9.1. Now, Eliza, they're both named Emily. This should be pretty easy for both of us tonight. So, if you hear your name, don't be surprised. Eliza, you know the questions we're asking. You've already heard them. Focused on your death, of course, and then, of course, what happened to your mansion. So feel free to throw out the dates when that tragedy occurred. Somebody's going to their car. Perfect, thank you. Look at you on top of things. So we just kind of hang out for. Actually, we're going to move straight to the back because it's going to need to pull out. That's the only way in and out of here. So tell me, Tourette syndrome. What are you hearing? I want to make sure you're getting the point on how to listen to that. Don't be afraid to tell me all the silly things. Have fun with it.
Groups.
Okay. There you go. Just want to make sure she's getting the gist of how to listen to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are afraid to tell me the things that they're hearing, and I'm like, you guys are missing shit.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do, is it?
We're just playing music.
Well, what are the lyrics? It's about what the lyrics are, not who is singing it.
My mom was not enthused.
Okay, there you go. Okay, let's get back on our... Oh shit, I forgot to put the gas card back on. 21.1.
Throw them out.
We're not leaving yet, Eliza. We just got brought us up here because there's no cars up in this area, so I thought this might actually help. I like that my mom was not enthused, even though the word mom probably wasn't used back in the 1700s. Anything weird on your cam? Anything weird on the camera?
No.
Okay.
Fresh start.
Okay. What caused the fresh start, Eliza? Which fresh start are you referring to? You've had several. 22.4. Did your tour a few weeks ago or last week?
I think it was last week.
So did you guys go to Dueler's Alley?
It was over there by the that Long Market Street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So the Whistling Doctor, did somebody tell you about him?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, 36.8.
It was a quick tour, so.
Most of them are about 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's standard.
Yeah.
51.4.
I think I heard Spirit.
Okay. Eliza, what do you want to tell us? We're only going to be here a minute or two if you're not going to give us anything. Notice you're just checking us out. That's obvious. Eliza. My word list real quick just to kind of see where we're at. Again, that 51 usually means something else was being missed at the same time. So we're down here. Nothing that's screaming out at me. There's a couple things that could be relevant, but nothing super great. Anything else weird coming out of yours?
No.
Okay. Nothing crazy on your cam either? Because this was going to like, it went to 50 and then it did a couple of 30s and then just died off. Like a whole lot of nothing. So it's almost like she just swung by and just kind of said, okay, I can see you're cool, but I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yeah.
And again, you're probably just missing things in real time.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, it happens every day. That's why I spot check it for you. So we're going to go back to the back. You can go ahead and hit the stop on that once we get back there. And then I'll kind of cover the answers and kind of show you how this all pieced together.
Did you want me to stop
It'll really start to click. Yep. We'll get the point. So this used to be called Dueler's Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So every ghost tour comes down here, like I said. But again, the guy follows me. That's why I keep coming here. And again, this is where his whole story begins. So, and this is where some of the duels used to occur because dueling was illegal in the 1700s. They had to find hiding spots. This just happened to be one of them. Now, with that said, here's how the story goes. Again, I'm just going to give you a few extra details because you're ghost hunting, not on the Campfire Marshmallow Tour. So a doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. I said his name slowly because if the song Brown Eyed Girl comes on while we're here, we get it all the time because it's part of his name. So that's why I always say his name slowly. Anyway, he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow that she just got. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's cash. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. So Dr. Ladd moves down here to Charleston to prove that he's not. On his way into town, the coachman he had set him up to be robbed and killed. It's kind of like having a really bad Uber driver today. So just like to put things in today's perspectives. But anyway, So somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he's lived here for a while and knew the coachman. The person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. I say his name slowly because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from. So Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. We were getting the letters RI all the time on your spirit box, so I bought that yes/no device that you asked me about earlier because it also provides letters. I basically treat it like a digital Ouija board because it does work off of EMF, just like my numbers device. Okay, so whenever there's a spike, it gives us a letter. We've had RI show up whenever I brought up Ralph's name about half a dozen times in the past year and a half. So that kind of gives you an idea of like where it's actually relevant to. Anyway, back to Ralph. He tells doctor that basically, I know this guy, the coachman, he's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from these friends of mine, and you'll be safe and good to go. Doc took him up on the offer, and the two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's cash. So she gets wind of this. She's moving down so they could be married, and Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is the reason why I hate the story. It's a giant cliche. Every haunted city you will ever visit has a whistling ghost. Ours just happens to be a doctor. There is some legitimacy there. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Let's get to the duel. Dr. Ladd and Ralph, they go to see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He just gets better seats because of how much money he makes. So they go see Richard III one night from Shakespeare, and they're on their way home, they're discussing the new actress they just saw. Dr. Ladd thought the new actress was fantastic. Ralph didn't think so. So they start arguing, and then Ralph is insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly between the two of them, and they went their separate ways. Ralph went to his friends at the newspaper and placed an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thought of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this, and somebody's going to die. So they came down, back to back, took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor points his gun in the air and shot. He did not want to kill his friend. He just needed the courage to show up to the fight. Ralph has his one bullet, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die either, but he fell to the ground. His friends picked him up and took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786 after refusing medical treatment. I'm going to point out two things. First off, it is 1786. Gunshot wounds back then are not the same as they are now. He also probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself. But he failed, because obviously he died. Every ghost tour that comes down here will tell you to listen for the whistles. We have your camera running, plus my voice recorder. If we're going to capture a disembodied whistle, it'll more than likely be on one of these two devices. However, your spirit box will give us the whistling part of a song, and then the word doctor from a commercial immediately after. Dozens upon dozens of times in the years that I've been coming down here. I've lost count of how many times I've actually caught it. I don't look for it, it just happens. So
Turn it up then.
Now, with that said, if you're going to try this on your own, now that you live here, and you walk through here and you turn on the voice recorder from your phones and you listen for the whistles, just remember every local knows this story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down here. It's just something that we do while we're down here. It's a common thing. So just kind of keep that in the back of your brain. I do it ever since I got thrown out of here. Let's talk about that. That's what makes this the fun part of the story. Now, the alley didn't always go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall up there. The reason why is because this was called Cow Alley. This is where they kept all the livestock for the city of Charleston. So what does that mean for you? That means that the bricks down at the other side are older than the ones you're standing on. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. Not much. Next stop right there at the door. You should be fine. He usually stops right there. How far down he's going tonight.
Do you need to stop it?
No, you just keep it running.
Okay.
Completely understand. Completely understand. What's going on, brother? Doing all right?
Doing good. How you doing?
It's a little humid.
It is. It is.
So I used to take my bricks down there because, again, those are sun-dried bricks from slave kids. There's a full handprint down there from a slave child, along with fingerprint swipes and others. So I used to take them down there for a history lesson on the handprint because it's a slave kid. And you also know how I feel about cemeteries. You're not going to find that kid that made that handprint down there. So November 26th of 2020, my entire group of 10 is huddled around that brick waiting for something to happen. I know nothing's going to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because we're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful. I didn't realize we were out of bounds for tours. So the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at. She was on the tour that night. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I worked in upper management for Walmart for over 10 years. You guys like to fight over towels on Thanksgiving and have scarred me for life. I am not working Thanksgiving ever again in my life. So I took the day off. The next day was the 28th of November. I called my partner that I had at the time in business and I told him what was going on, and he laughed his ass off, just like my daughter did. He said, dude, you can't go down that far. It's residential. It's a cutoff point for tours. You got to reroute your group. So I told my group that night, I don't believe in this next story because I've never had anything happen over there, and I'm into vampires, not pirates. Obviously, we're discussing pirates next, in case you didn't pick up on that. So somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne on a spirit box before we left the space. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. So it's kind of like, oh shit, maybe we're going to get something. I take them up and around the corner. I told them what I did know, because again, not much. Somebody else heard the number 300. I didn't know what that meant. Wrote it down. I did the research for them. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. So now I keep taking you guys back there every single damn night. And we've caught quite a bit there. It is a 50-50 roll of the dice. And she'll actually be there. And by the way, I was actually quite pissed off when I had to realize that I had to tell pirate stories. I already told you I wasn't into pirates at the time. My problem with it is that I actually have a master's degree in creative writing. And when I'm doing any type of research, I need facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. That was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy, the days of Blackbeard, basically. So whenever my teams were finding stuff, I had to read a million books to try to find and validate what was going on. Luckily for you, I've done reading all of the thousands of books about pirates, and hopefully what we find over there, I can put it together for you in a very quick manner. I've read more books, watched more documentaries, I play video games on pirates just to get another version of the story because they're all different. So you can see my point. I've done a lot of research. Have you heard anything else going on in there? I know it's hard to pay attention to me and that at the same time. Now, when we get into the next location, just so you know, I'll give you the history of Anne Bonny and why we're there. But obviously this is the raised emotion for Dr. Ladd. He will do the bleed over into the next location because now he knows we're out and about, but he also shows up at our last location as well because that house, that 59 Church Street, is nearby that location. Another space of raised emotion for him. He lived there. So again, you'll see the point like once we get over to that location. But yeah, I'll breeze through the Anne Bonny bit just so we can actually get back to work. And that way we can start filming more. We stay out of the way of the other tours because other tours may be passing by us when we're over there. I know. But and this is actually pretty light. In the summertime, this is jam full. Like, we got to fight for spots. So again, with me not timing this, it's kind of weird. Like, I never know. Like, I run into that guy pretty much on a nightly basis because, again, tonight we were actually pretty early with the Pinckney Mansion done. We were done over there early and being over here. Normally he's already down here, if that makes sense. So again, I know, like, oh, we're kind of early. Might be seeing red-haired guy.
Glad you haven't run into good old Kevin. You know when you see him, he's loud and he screams at us.
No, he does. He even scared you too.
Yeah, he, like, we were sitting at the park. And he like jumped out at me, almost fell back.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. I don't know why he did it.
I almost pissed my pants.
I don't know. It was
Is this
weird.
like a really tall guy?
No, he's
short.
He's like about
about
my.
this big round.
Yeah, I think he's about like this.
Yeah.
He's short.
He wears a little.
He wears a hat like.
No, not like that.
No, he wears a hat like that.
No, I don't know. It didn't look like that.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
yeah, he's like about yay high.
Short little guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Go
He
around.
walks around like this. That's the only way I can describe him.
Wow.
I don't know.
He
Well-
stands out front of what was that restaurant? It was next to the
We.
tour thing.
It was by the fudge place.
It was right next to the fudge place.
Oh, okay. So
That
5
weird.
Church Restaurant.
Like it, I could get some the welcome dinner thing.
The welcome, no. It was like the place where you get the brochures and
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
It's a welcome center.
Okay,
Yeah.
Visitor
yeah.
center.
And that's where he stands.
Okay.
That's what he's saying.
If you don't mind me asking, what did you pay for those tickets?
Where did I pay for him?
How much did you pay for them?
So he told me I only had to pay, like, he told me to give him $20. And I was like, okay, well, you just said it was going to be like, what,
$40, yeah.
And
It
then,
was $20 per person, I thought.
yeah, and then when we got to him, he was like, okay, you owe me $40. And I'm like, we just gave this guy 20.
We got scammed.
It didn't add up.
I think we
yeah.
got scammed.
It didn't add up.
Didn't sound like he works for a company at all. Yeah, that's weird. Like that's very
I don't know.
that's very sketch.
And we tried to book you,
Yeah.
but you were already fully,
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought
We
I
were
saw
sold
it
out
quickly.
tickets.
yeah.
You
So
saw
we
it, right?
knew, like, in advance when
Yeah.
they're booked.
Like, and that's why, like, you don't see me down here during the daytime a lot, like, talking to people, like, trying to send them brochures and bullshit. I want the enthusiasts to show up, so I do a lot of TikTok advertising. I mean, I'm on Facebook, obviously, I'm on every TripAdvisor, Viator, all of the things, like, the resellers, and I let them do the work. So I'm literally sitting at home writing all day long, and then I come ghost hunting with you guys,
Yeah.
and then I just go back and forth. But that's kind of like how my life is. I just let everything run on autopilot. That's kind of how I do it. Somebody did text me through Facebook today, like Facebook Messenger. She's like, hey, I have a small request. You know, I didn't want to book it and then ask later. I'd rather ask up front. It was something about the time. And they also wanted a private party. Private parties, I charge more for. Because that means I have to cut off more tickets.
Yeah.
So plus it was on Friday nights, they're going to change the time. I'm definitely going to, so I'm always upfront with people. It's going to cost this much because I'm charging you for this amount of tickets. And she's okay, let's do it. Sweet. So I mean, again, I'm easy going. Obviously, with the texting that you and I have already had, well, us have already had.
Yeah.
But we're going to cut through this group right here. Go ahead and stop your video at this point, so that way we're not. Because this whole setup is very expensive.
Yeah.
So I have to like build up the funds for it. So we're just not there yet. There you go.
I'm ready?
Have at it. I'm gonna text the wife.
Alright.
See how you guys paid me to go to work?
You hearing anything?
What?
What do you got?
It says emergency.
I have to go to the bathroom and it just said emergency. I don't know.
What?
You just didn't tell me about EMS.
Yeah.
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 Maybe, yeah.
Again, it's a stretch, but that's where my brain goes to just based on our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you heard anything?
Not really.
You were supposed to get better at this. You know that, right?
What?
I said you were supposed to get better at this. You know
I
that,
know,
right?
I know. It's just nothing's really, like, coming through. I don't know.
again, it's all those silly little things. When I go through it, when I give you my list of what I found, I give you all the little markers. Because again, not all of it's going to mean something, but it's just going to be something weird that I heard. I'm like, I don't know what the hell black cat means. I'm just going to put it in there because maybe you have a black cat, and then the cat's name will show up, and that means that somebody you brought is recognizing that you have a black cat named Sugar. I don't know. You got the point. Again, I always, if it's something just weird, it goes in there.
Okay.
And where the hell are you, Ty? Coming through or what?
You scared her away.
What?
You scared her off. God.
We common here religious terms because of the church.
Yeah.
Over here.
Radio. Obviously. Jesus.
More religious terms.
Jesus. Is it loud?
Yeah.
It's okay. I listen to it super loud too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just kind of have to zone everything else out. Just listen.
Ghost. It was a Jelly Roll song. Red Sox.
Finally. What color was her hair?
Wait, what? What
It said Red Sox.
I gave you questions.
Yeah.
And literally said them out loud. So it's not like she doesn't know what we're asking every night anyway.
No, yeah.
And the fact that I had to piece it together for you was even better.
Yeah,
Because you
it
didn't.
literally just said Red Sox, clear as day.
You said something before that. What was it? Red Sox and.
you said?
Ghost. It said
Yeah.
Ghost. The Jelly Roll song came on. One of my faves. I don't know if I heard it right, but I swear it said Anne. I don't know.
You probably did.
Don't second guess yourself. If you think you heard something,
I
whether
definitely heard it
it
then.
was Ann or man, it's always your first instinct. I just got a reading over here that we don't normally get.
Can you put down my sleeve?
I got goosebumps.
No, pull down my sleeve.
Oh, you want me to pull it down?
Yes, do this side.
I was like, what?
Do this
That one
side.
too. Get to work. What are you doing?
I know, literally. I'm invested in Anne right now.
It's good. And what else do you got? What was your father's name? How about that? Give us that one. you have anything going on there?
No.
If you hit this. There it is,
Cousin. You were just talking
Oh,
about the.
we will also get female gender terms here. He, she, female.
Yeah.
But cousin is relevant because Eliza's son, Charles, and his cousin were both signers of the Constitution. Do you remember that, me telling you that earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cousin is buried across the street, along with the husband. So both two Charles Pinckneys are literally across the street. We get cousin here all the time, and it doesn't matter which spirit box it comes from.
Really?
So that's me excited, and the fact that we had female while we were over here.
Yeah, it happened right over
Yeah,
there.
right
Yep.
over.
Yeah.
Well, we get the song like "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," "Material Girl," like we get that stuff over here all the time. So, and again, I find it funny because it's her like I'm definitely female,
Yeah.
even though I had to dress like a male. It's
Yeah.
almost like she's reiterating, "I'm definitely a girl."
Right, yeah. I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
Yeah,
You're
what
working.
are you sorry about?
Yes, you're laser focused. Stay in.
If you need to hear, you can hear.
Somebody like that.
And we're not going to stay long if you're not going to give us anything.
Massive. Idiots out there.
Sounds like Anne. So she was a little on the sassy side. Idiots out there. I don't know what it's referring to. But that's definitely a weird phrase. And give us your father's name so we know you're here. That will verify things for us. You can even tell us the shortened version of it. Not sure he went by that, but you've given it to us in the past. Oh, it won't change on that screen. You gotta be on the other screen.
Oh.
So now that we are home, back see what else we missed. Thomas there. That's not it. Don't worry.
Oh.
We'll give this another minute. See if she's gonna give it to us. Come on, Ann. We're gonna wrap it up. Just give us your father's name and we'll move on.
It said something about, I couldn't tell what it was. It's either Jason or James.
Okay. wasn't either one of those.
Okay,
But
well,
the
let's-
first husband was named James, if you recall, James Bond.
Yep. Okay, I knew I was right about something. Started with a J.
Started with a J. There's a lot of them. So, if you remember, we had James, the first husband, and then John, who also went by Jack. And I don't know the name of the secondary husband, because there was too much speculation
Yeah.
on who it was. Some say it was John, another one. Alright, Ann, going once. Going twice. Alright, we're gonna wrap it up. Let's head over towards the wall so I can set the bag down again. Alright, so go ahead and stop your camera there, and I'll take it from you because we're not going to use it at the